YouTubers failed and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Rant. This week it's just Baseballlover and TheChudude. How you guys doing?
I'm here. Hi.
For once, on time. Welcome. How does it feel to be on time to a Weekly Rant?
It's a new sensation, and it's something that is very new and interesting to my life.
I'm very happy that after 40 editions of the Weekly Rant, you finally figured out the timing of when we're doing it. It's just so satisfying to finally get a rant done on time. Like, I don't know, the last, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we, planned it to be, 2, and it's gonna be, 3, 4, 5, then it gets pushed to the next day, and...
Yeah.
It's so stupid. But it's good.
Well, first, there was, 3 in a row where Chu didn't show up, then there was, 3 in a row where I didn't show up.
And I got sick once.
Then you got sick. Fias and Hans were there half the time. It was very interesting.
Well, at least you guys still enjoy it from what I saw from the views and stuff. But, let's get on with the topics. The very, very big topic this week is going to be the Men's Elite Road Race World Championships. I guess we can also discuss the time trial. I guess that's over as well. That's a big upset. But, I think, first of all, we should jump right into the road race. We're recording this straight after, this is literally 5 minutes after the road race is done. So all the memories are fresh. But, TheChudude, give us your overall opinion of the road race.
It was pretty entertaining. I mean, I don't think it was up to the standards last year, but yeah, we got a really good event. Rui Costa went very tactical. I think it was really tactically smart. I mean, because he went by himself, it made it a lot.
Talking about last year?
This year.
Yeah, there was Kwiatkowski, not Rui Costa.
Kwiatkowski, yeah, that guy. He went. It's very similar to the under-23 race, actually. If you saw that, one guy got away as well, similar, and he won it because no one behind chased properly. Well, this year we had Gilbert chasing for Van Avermaet. He really dug in deep, but it just wasn't enough. And Kwiatkowski made a lot of risky moves on the descent. That pretty much got him the win, and we saw the winning margin was by a second at the end. So Guerin's got the second place in the sprint, and I'm just as shattered as he is because he's probably in the best form of his career right now, and you don't get much chance of you don't get much chances. We've seen this in the past from guys like Rodriguez, Valverde, who just throw it away because it's just a thing, and it's pretty sad because it's probably his only chance, and maybe next year, but he's getting old up in the ages as well.
Do you think if Valverde was a different nationality, that he would actually have a better chance of winning this?
For sure. Last year, definitely. A couple years prior, probably as well. Even in 2000, one of the years before as well. I can't remember, but yeah, definitely. Just Spain is. If you watch them in the peloton today, you saw teams like Italy as a group. Spain were here, there, at the front, at the back, sides, left, right, everywhere. So that's a thing as well.
Also, in the early stages of the stage, a very I'm gonna say usual team that does it now, a usual nationality. Great Britain was keeping a pace in the beginning of the stage, and I don't know why they do this. They always do this, and then they end up nowhere. Why? Were you watching at this point, Baseballlover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I started watching pretty early, and they did the same exact thing last year, if I remember correctly. The same exact thing, and I did not even see a Great Britain rider in the last 20K.
It was really weird. And the thing also, fun fact, Chris Froome has DNF'd the last 7 years now in the World Championships. That's just weird. Why even pick a guy when you know he's going to DNF? He didn't even do any work on the stage. He just stood off the bike. He didn't want to do anything with 100 kilometers to go. Why even bring him? The only reason I could see is going to be a PR stunt. We're bringing in a previous world champion. But... I can understand the first 3 years of him DNFing because he was a time trial specialist, but the last 4 years now, he's been a climber.
Yeah, I mean, today's stage didn't suit him, that's for sure. Last year as well. Well, last year was understandable. It's raining, probably half the field DNF'd, and for me, he's not a one-day racer. He's just not, no one ever gave him a chance of winning today anyway, and I don't think much people expected that. And it is what it is. I mean, Wiggins was there as well, I believe. Didn't do anything. Great Britain, I don't think had a rider today to go for realistically.
Swift,
but he was up there in the end. He got top 12. It's not very good though. It's not very good. He got beat.
remembers that?
He got beat by Christoph Degenkop, Bohani, and Colbrelli, I believe. So it's very subpar from a guy of his caliber. So I'll be disappointed. But another country that I think can be disappointed after today's stage is the US of A. What do you think, Baseball Over?
I was so damn confused that we decided that Alex Howes and Brent Bookwalter were our two leaders when we had Andrew Tolansky and TJ Van Gardner on the team. And yeah, they didn't really suit to the course well, but just Brent Bookwalter? What? Like, he's never led a race in his life. And he's going to lead the World Championships for our country?
Actually, didn't he lead one of the American races?
Nope.
For BMC?
No,
That was Ben Hermans.
Hermans.
That was
Ben
Ben
Hermans.
Hermans. Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of. He was up there though. He got like 4th in the Tour of Utah or something like that, didn't he? Am I completely wrong, or did he get like?
No, he did. He definitely did alright in one of the races.
Yeah. I remember him being like 2nd behind Hermans. Something like that. That was a weird like double attack from those guys, and they did do something on. I don't remember which race it was, but he did do something.
I think it was him and I think it was Hermans and Velits.
Oh, I'm not sure then. I'm confused. It's all those races blend together after a while, and it's certainly been a while since we started doing the rants. It's been fun. So overall, you're pretty disappointed as well with the US of A's performance.
The US didn't even come out to play, but on the other hand, we really don't have anyone for this type of course, and we don't have a sprinter anymore. We don't have a classics rider. We don't have a puncher. We have no one. We have two like stage racy climbers, and that really doesn't suit this course or most World Championship courses at all.
Well, there was a nation that brought a lot of guys that could suit this course. They didn't bring one guy though, but they brought a lot of other riders, and that nationality was my nationality, the Danish nationality. I was really surprised to see Juel Jensen in the early attack, then Valgren later on, and then Mathieu Brichel being up there in the end, missing out on his 3rd podium finish in a World Championship in 4 years. I gotta say, I'm so proud to be Dane today. Like, I'm not in the sport of cycling. You're not proud to be a Dane very often, but today was one of those days where Denmark really showed out to play, and I'm very proud to see what he did. He was really mad in the end when he didn't win it, or when he didn't get top 3.
Let it be known that you were a doubter of Brichel earlier this entire season. You were always, I say, Brichel can do well, and you would say, no, he is so past it, he's never going to do anything. So I just want to let it known that you are feeling this Danish pride, but you were a doubter. And
well, to be fair, when Jose Bien was mentioning the riders in that Chasers group, she's like, in this group, we've got Phil Chabert, the previous world champion, we've got Alejandro Valverde, a top 3 finisher in the Tour and the Vuelta a España, we have got Greg Van Aerman, a guy who's won a bunch of classics before, and we got Mathieu Brichel, the winner of Tour de Luxembourg. I'm like, that doesn't really prove much. So I have my doubts with Mathieu Brichel, and I think like the only time he shows up is the World Championships. All the other races, he doesn't really do anything. It's really weird.
He saves his year every single time for the World Champs.
Yeah, he saves his
World
form.
Champs.
He doesn't ride any races except for the ones leading up for the World Championship. What did you guys think of the previous World Championships, World Champions ride? Like, what do you think about Rui Costa's ride today?
Yeah,
Where was
I
he?
didn't see much at all. I saw him in the last climb. He was in there in the group with Cancellara.
Was he in the group?
That was about it. Yeah, he was in the group with Cancellara, Matthews, all those guys.
He was struggling,
didn't really
though,
do
it
anything.
looked like. Yeah.
It was a tough race for sure. Like at the end, I think there was probably, let's just say, 30 or so riders.
I remember you tuning
after that
in.
group.
I remember you tuning in with 60 kilometers to go, and you're like, so is anything happening? Well, hell yeah! We just saw somebody tag Faulers Navarro, and the entire peloton just split to pieces. And I thought that break with the Valgren, Demarchi, Gautier, and Kirienka was going to win. Like, I was so close to putting money on Kirienka, but thank God I didn't.
Well, I also want to talk about Poland. I mean, they had 9 riders, believe it or not. That was strange. And they used those 9 riders at the start, as well as Great Britain as well. But Poland did a lot of work. They were at the front for like 50 or 60 Ks at least. They were doing so much work. And I was shocked, and I was like, they really think they got a guy who can win it. And I thought, maybe, yes, they're going for Kwiatkowski. Maybe they can make a similar move like how Kwiatkowski made today with Nemec. So, but Kwiatkowski was so strong. Like,
no, he was not on the team.
No.
He was the guy he's the sole reason that Poland got to bring 9 riders and they didn't even bring him for the national squad.
Yeah, I think
he's
it's
tired,
funny
though.
because he was the way that you can represent more people, it's just ridiculous.
Well, the same thing happened to Denmark. The only reason Denmark was allowed to bring was 3 or 5 riders is because of Magnus Kort. Magnus Kort is tied with the most amount of victories together with Tom van Asbrook. And we didn't bring Magnus Kort. I know he went to the under-23 World Championship, but come on. That guy had a legitimate chance
Did he
of doing
even
what
place
Michel.
there, though?
He got 22nd. But to be honest, that was a very messy race and nobody knew what was going on. And all these guys are very young and they're very nervous and stuff, so they don't perform. Like
Even the commentators had no clue what was going on.
yeah,
Like,
Caleb Ewan got 2nd behind not Salterhorst Inger. Another
Oh yeah, it was just some random Norwegian kid.
he's going to Katusha, you know that? He was actually picked up by Katusha. That
Yeah,
Norwegian
that's
kid.
good signing.
Yeah, I gotta say that. I also thought I thought Katusha would pick up Salterhorst Inger as well, but he got signed up by IM Cycling, and I gotta say, Salterhorst Inger is gonna be one of the best sprinters in the future. If you play PCM, you know he becomes good.
what
Talking about
about
sign-ups.
he's Norwegian though, and I know Denmark has a thing with him.
We hate him.
Exactly.
Talking about
And so, what do you
sign-ups.
think about 2 Norwegians out of 3 on the podium of the U23
Pretty good.
champions?
That was good.
I don't really tell. Like they can do good there as long as they didn't beat a Danish guy to the podium. Like Magnus Kort wasn't even in contention because that was not his sort of race. Magnus Kort is not Mathieu Brechel. Magnus Kort is more of a Valgren type of rider. He needs to attack away in a climb and stay away like he did in the national championships.
That's not a very reassuring thing if he's supposed to be a huge talent.
Shut up.
That he's a Michael Vogren.
Speaking about huge talent, Dan Martin, what did he show up today?
He crashed.
Allegedly.
What
No
else
sources
is there to
say
say about most of Dan Martin's races? It was actually a fluke that he didn't crash in the Vuelta.
He brought an aero helmet today just to be ready for the attacks in the end, so he'd be even faster. And he never got there. We're 60 kilometers to go. Dan Martin has dropped from the peloton. Such a disappointment.
He did crash though.
You sure?
Yeah, he was right at the front of the group with Roach at 40k to go, and then he died.
Apparently. Nibali crashed pretty hard today as well, but he showed back up. And where did he go in the end?
He was near there at the top
Who
of
was
the
he
funnel.
even riding for? Colbrelli?
Cobrelli, I think it was Cobrelli.
What?
He came 14th or 15th.
No, he came
Cobrelli,
10th,
so-
right in front of... No, 11th, right in front of Ben
Check it
Swift.
right here.
That's gotta be such a confident statement, such a confident boost for that guy. You've got a Rune, Nibali, DiMarchi, and all these guys riding for you, and you're in a pro Conti team? That's such a big boost.
No one really suited this stage from Italy anyway. I looked down their team. They had good riders, but no one that, suited the course. I mean, Nibali was
Honestly,
never going to win it.
All of the World Championship courses are like this half strong sprinter, half punchy course. I want to see what if they was World Championship 2018 is in the Pyrenees. They do Tourmalet 5 times. Circuit.
Quickly off topic. I just uploaded the final kilometers of the World Championship. So far, all the comments have been hate towards the woman commentator, which is Jose Bien. Whoever put a woman in charge of commentating, what does this world come to? What?
Sex.
There was one comment who said Phil Liggins must find it really difficult to commentate with this girl. Phil Liggins is so good, and his overall quality gets taken down by this woman's poor commentary. I can't see if that's sarcasm or if that's actually true. Some guy thinks that.
It's so good that his quality gets taken down.
Oh,
I
I gotta say, Phil Liggins is probably the worst commentator that's out there right now.
Phil Liggett's base.
No.
He knows.
That's
his
Sean
stuff.
Kelly.
Sean Kelly is better than Phil Liggett. At least he only says yes or no. He keeps it to short answers, doesn't say much, and lets Colin Kirby do all the work. I like that. Colin Kirby's the best commentator out there, and there's no debating that. There's nobody that can beat Colin Kirby at what he does.
Yeah, but what about the penultimate commentator?
Well, that's Sean Kelly. Screw that. That's
penultimate. And
I just love how whenever Colin Kirby asks Sean Kelly anything, he's like, yes, no, maybe.
If you Google the best cycling commentator, first one that comes up is Phil Liggett. Not even low.
It's because everybody makes fun of him. Like,
Phil
he's
Liggett's
so
the
bad.
best commentator.
He's
He
so
gives
bad.
an expert opinion. Yeah, he's like 70, 80 years old. He's been through
Okay,
cycling.
in the conversation right now, put your favorite commentator name. It doesn't matter if he's from your country. Like, if you're from Denmark, you're gonna know Dennis Ritter and Rolf Sørensen. If you're from Australia, you're gonna know Phil Liggett and other people. I don't know. Who else is commentating from Australia? I know it's
Paul
SBS.
Sherwin.
Yeah.
Paul Sherwin
I remember
and
that
Phil
from the Tour
Liggett,
Down Under. That's horrible commentary. Very interesting.
It's actually really good.
Then you have the American races with Christian van der Walle and also Phil Liggett, probably? No, that's not Phil Liggett.
Yeah, it's Phil Liggett. Well, it depends.
Yeah,
the
depends.
Tour,
Rich,
the Tour and the French races are Phil Liggett, Paul Sherwin. Sometimes they have Van de Velde up there. Van de Velde keeps them in check, and then the other races are Universal Sports. They have Steve Schleimer, Golski, and some other chick.
They have American guys like commentating some of the like Utah, Cali, all those races. It's actually really interesting, like the accent differences.
I love when the US tried to do cycling races and try to do TV production. And I remember one time, I think it was the Tour of Utah, they had a top 10 place on cycling.
Oh, gosh.
It was so funny. It was so bad. They didn't do it again. I remember it. It was so funny. It was so bad. Like top 10 attacks, powerful attacks. They were all so bad. And one time they had a sprint in there. when the US tried to make it more like mainstream sport, it just turns out horribly. This sport is not supposed to be mainstream. It's funny though. Back on topic to the World Championships. Let's talk about the time trial. For the first time ever, it feels like Tony Martin lost the time trial. He lost to Bradley Wiggins. What do you feel about this, Chew? How do you feel about this?
You know, Wiggins was probably the only one who was going to beat him. Maybe Tom Dumoulin.
Yeah, Tom Dumoulin. I'm sorry, comments.
No, it's Dumoulin.
No, it's Dumoulin. Some guy in the comment section last video is like, Phil, you're getting it wrong. It's Tom Dumoulin, you idiot.
Yeah,
something like that.
Wiggins is one, you know, when you're riding at such a high level, if you just lose like motivation or interest by that like one time bit, there's always a guy out there who just steps it up a notch, and Wiggins was there. I mean, Wiggins didn't beat Martin by much. It was only by like 20 seconds. So, I don't think
that's a lot.
Yeah, but it's over an hour.
That's still a lot. Like 20 seconds is a lot on Tony Martin. I mean, anything above 0.0001 seconds on Tony Martin is a lot in my book.
Yeah, but
I guess.
But Tony Martin, he's won it the last couple of years. I don't know. Was he dismotivated this year? It didn't feel like.
Apparently, the course didn't suit him. He said.
I don't know. Yeah, Wiggins said the climbs at the end suited him more or something.
Something like that.
That's where he made most of his time or something. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Wiggins is a beast. And
I gotta give it to him. Yeah, I agree on that.
He's gonna go on and probably break the world record next year in the hour.
That's not difficult though.
And then go on to Olympics and win
Team
gold.
Sky run the national team, and we know things about Team Sky. What do we know about Team Sky? Does anybody want to raise your hand and tell me what we know about Team Sky and what they do with their blood?
Well, one thing I do know is that Chris Froome and Bradley Wiggins don't like each other. They're not gonna be in a race together anymore since that Tour de France. That's the only thing that's for sure. I think all the other things that Baseballlover312's hinting at are all
completely true.
Yeah, well, until other proven they're innocent, I guess. Well, I guess on that note, we can talk about Kreuziger. Kreuziger got acquitted. He got acquitted of all the doping charges from the Czech Republic National Committee, but then the UCI appealed to CAS, the appeal something, I don't know, the central, what is it called?
I don't even know.
Let me look that up. Let me look.
Presnetation Sorensen.
Let me look up what is CAS cycling. It is I don't
Court
even.
of arbitration or something.
I have no. That's probably what it is. It's something Court of Appeals.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. This goes concurrently with the next set of news because there is now the UCI unanimously agreed to stop having national organizations handle these things and to appoint like a totally separate from the UCI but global doping committee to handle these things with cycling so that the Czech Republic doesn't get to clear Kreuziger's name.
I feel like they got pissed about that.
I feel like the Czech Republic will be a little bit biased when their like best rider and one of their only riders gets caught for doping or just apparently. And so I think it's probably good that this is going to be in place from now on, because it's not like saying that Kreuziger and guys like him are guilty, but it's saying that the home country shouldn't really be able to use their bias towards the case.
Yeah. Well,
this is silly. You know, look, they have you know, you have your US USADA, and you have all those. That's your country's ones. But they have the World Anti-Doping, was it WADA? And that's supposed to look over everything. And like, if you're creating, if you're creating something like that, I mean, you already have a organization like WADA who's supposed to look after like cases like that. Like if a country does something like,
yeah, but they don't.
So if you hand out a punishment like you saw that, WADA has to approve it, and what's having another association going to do? I don't know.
WADA never does, and I think that the point is that whatever happens, the suspension and things like that have to go through the UCI no matter what. So you might as well have a non-biased, global, even investigation going on for every doping case.
I feel it's funny though, because like Denmark, they proved, they judged Michael Rasmussen guilty. So apparently Denmark didn't get the news that you're supposed to be biased towards your best riders.
Well, I think they were being biased though, because they knew that the media, if they cleared him, would completely destroy it.
Oh, who cares?
I think it's a media play to just to Kreuziger. There's not as much public evidence against him, so it's easier to just clear his name and say, oh, he's the new Daryl Impey. But
poor guy.
With Rasmussen, pretty much everyone knew. So it was if they had cleared his name, people would have just been like, really. But instead, they were able to play the media in their favor.
I gotta feel horrible for Kreuziger though. He just got cleared by his own national committee, and then the UCI is like, no, not happening. Let's get this new rule into play so we can convict him of his felonies and stuff like that. Like, come on, you just ruled him innocent, and now you're gonna try to convict him guilty? Oh my god.
We'll see.
It does seem like something UCI would do.
It feels like riders is getting better and better, coming up with little ideas on how to get past these things. Like, you see all these riders getting caught for doping, and then they're fine, they're riding. Like Rogers, Impey, Kreuziger, they're all riding now, like, pretty much.
Now?
So, yeah, they're just coming up with good excuses somehow, like, even Froome, TUEs, all that stuff. It's legit.
I got a therapeutic use exemption for my EPO yesterday.
Oh, that's actually a good accent. That was a good job. Good job with that one. Well, so on that note though, now that the World Championships are over, we're gonna head towards the next ones, next year's. I am so happy they're gonna be in Norway. I'm not gonna be there to watch. I'm not gonna go to Norway to watch them.
No, next year's isn't in Norway.
2 years. Oh yeah, sorry. 2 years.
17 is in Norway.
Next year's gonna be in the US, right? Next year's
in Richmond.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cobblestone race.
Cobbles.
Yeah, I saw that.
But they're not like real cobbles like in Flanders. They're like
they're fake cobbles.
nicely fake cobbled.
But it still makes a good sound. It's cobbles. It's a hilly cobblestone race. I watched it a while ago. In 2 years' time, it's gonna be in Norway. And I gotta say, after watching the Tour de Norway and all those other Norway races that was this year, I'm really excited because Bergen, the region in Norway where most of the races were heading this year, the place where Lars Peter Northug won one stage, that place looked epic. If you can, try to find Lars Peter Northug's victory on that one stage of the Norway race. The scenery is epic, the people showing up is epic, the mountains are epic. There's no time for rest on these mountains. Plus, it's wide open, there's wind from every side, the conditions are going to be horrible. It's going to make for an epic World Championship.
Wonderful, the conditions will be horrible.
No,
everyone will be struggling.
That's fun to watch though, like, that's going to make for a harder selection.
That's what I think. 2018, and the Pyrenees and the Alps, or one of them.
No. Next year... Oh, go. Sorry, go.
One of them gets the World Championships. We go over Tourmalet 10 times in the circuit, and we see who's actually the strongest in the world.
Little correction right there. Next year is going to be in Richmond. The year after that is going to be in Qatar, and the year after that is going to be in Norway.
The Qatar one's going to be so freaking weird. Like, who's going to be able to watch that? That's going to be like weird times.
No, it doesn't. Well, it kind of does. It finishes at 2 o'clock my time.
Yeah, it's gonna finish at 8 o'clock in the morning for me. You're right.
Yeah, it's gonna be good for TheChudude for once.
Hey, probably prime time.
TheChudude.
Yeah.
Get popcorn out.
Hello, guys. TheChudude here, actually watching the race.
It's gonna be good though, because it's not gonna be a straight up sprint. Like Tom Bowden was beating Mathieu Burchell and Jürgen Roelands and Michael Murkoff, and Tove Qatar and San Luis and all that stuff. So it's
Qatar's completely flat, but there's so much wind.
It's gonna make a good race though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tyler Farrell will probably win that one.
No, I could actually see Tommy Bowden finally coming back if he survives another 2 years.
The thing is that it's 4 years from now, so it's...
No, it's not 4 years from now. What?
Richmond? Oh yeah, no, we're talking about the 2 years.
Qatar's in 2016.
Qatar, I still don't see... I see a guy like Sam Bennett and Caleb Ewan going at it.
In 2016?
Yeah.
You might be a bit wishful right there, wishful thinking.
Cavendish will still
maybe in Norway.
Well, in Norway, no, because that's going to be like a more punchy rider.
Yeah.
Like, if you can, I recommend you to try and find that footage.
In 2019, when they do the flat race around the Champs-Élysées, they do the Champs-Élysées 50 times for the World Championships.
You remember when they did Denmark? When they did in Copenhagen? That goes down as one of the worst World Championships in my book. It was basically a flat stage. Yeah. It was so boring. It was just a flat stage until Cavendish won, and it was just boring. It's just basically what Denmark is. But to be fair though, that final climb, like with like 2 kilometers to go, that was a really tough climb. I wrote that. I wrote a simulator on that. That's actually really tough.
To be fair, Tyler Farah got top 10 on that. So also Matthew Goss got second on that.
That was a feat.
Imagine if Matthew Goss would have won that.
What if Matthew Goss wasn't even on the national team this year?
Yeah, he's like gone. He doesn't even matter anymore.
No, he's now at MTN Quebec with all the other has-been sprinters in the entire peloton.
They're just hoping for him to do something, but that's really not gonna happen.
Every single sprinter or like sprinter that has gotten that's passed it, not exactly old ones like Farah, Goss, the guys who are in their late 20s but are still gone, Bosenhagen. Everyone goes to MTN Quebec. It's very interesting.
Talking about things that are out of date, out of their prime, the Tour of Beijing has been cancelled. This is the very final edition. UCI just said it's not beneficial to do. It's such a crowd race. Nobody wants to go to it. This is basically Belking's playground. They bring their best team and they just rack up a bunch of points every year. It's so funny when they do this. Also,
I think this is better for cycling. And did you see McCade? McCade was like, "Oh my God, this is horrible. See, everyone's now gonna hate cycling all over the world because you canceled the Tour of Beijing, and Cookson should have never been elected." And it's like, really? You serious? Come on.
It's so funny. I love that. It's good. It's good fun. But to be honest, we're not gonna miss the Tour of Beijing. I know Fast 9 are not gonna miss it. It's a horrible time zone.
I don't like. I hope that they appoint another World Tour race though.
Which one do you like to see appointed?
I think what they should do is, instead of like making a World Tour race in Beijing to globalize it, they should globalize in more relevant places like Britain and America and places that don't have a World Tour race but actually have cycling somewhere near them.
Mm-hmm. Like, if you gotta go to a country that's got established riders, I feel like. Even Colombia.
Colombia.
America feels like they should deserve one. You know, it's a country where California is really good. Like, it's a big race. It's covered well. Even the Tour of Utah Pro Challenge has done pretty well. You know, I feel we
have pretty big races now. We've the last few years have really. There's been a lot of racing, and we have a lot of domestic teams, and there's a good base of riders. Like, there's not a single Chinese rider besides Chang Ji, and he's getting the Lanterne Rouge. So, not the Flamme Rouge, by the way, failures. Yeah, you can't. Globalizing the sport should mean that you cover more of the sport.
I have the best idea
in
ever.
Places where they're actually, like, don't go to Qatar to have the World Championships. go to a place like Norway or America or
Argentina. Make 20 San Luis a World Tour races.
I'm done. I am done with this weekly rant forever. I can't believe you just said that in real life.
That's so horrible. That's the first ever race I tried to commentate on the cycling. It was actually received with mixed emotions.
Sepulveda wins it. Sepulveda wins it. He gets pushed by the motorbike the entire 200K.
That was so funny. That was so funny how and the guys got punched in the face. Who got punched in the face?
Got punched in the face.
Yeah, it was so dumb. And the winner.
And people are getting hit by the Argentina cars, and thrown off the side of the cliff so that an Argentina rider could win it.
I gotta say, 27 Luis making a World Tour race, making this sort of shenanigans happen every year at a high level. It'd be so funny. Make it basically the playground of the sport. You can do whatever. Just go here, test it out.
Just go to San Luis in October and.
Should do it like prime time. Put it as replace the Criterium du Dauphiné with Tour de Saint Louis. Make it the Tour de France warm-up race. If you guys watching this and listening to this right now don't know about the Tour de Saint Louis shenanigans that happened earlier this year,
like the first weekly rant ever.
Yeah, or just look up cycling news articles about this because there are plenty of those.
January 15th weekly rant with pre-puberty baseball lover, and watch that, and you will get all the info you need.
You're currently watching mid-puberty baseball lover.
Mid-puberty baseball lover.
When is he going to become Super Saiyan baseball lover?
Oh God! I can't wait till that happens. The weekly rant will be a new experience.
But guys, come back next week to figure out if baseball lovers become Super Saiyan, or might take a little bit more time before he evolves into that. But until then, go check out TheChudude's channel. He's currently doing his Subway career, and he's doing his I would almost call it prank videos. Like, what are you calling those? Like your iPhone 6 review.
It's not a prank video.
It's not a prank. He got an early review of the iPhone 6.
Go check his review videos. He's got a Dark Mode review, and he's got an iPhone 6 review on there. Go check out Baseball Lover's channel. He's doing on Turn right now, which I'm following a tiny bit. So guys, go check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next week.